like to explore with you the possible scenarios and really get a kind of embodied sense of what these different scenarios could mean. And then we'll just provide you with sort of offering. It's not exhaustive, it's not the only way of thinking about this. It's a few kind of stimuli for thinking on the way we're starting to look at new ways of leading and organising. And at the end, what we would like to end with is a kind of invitation to a prototyping lab. So we have an enormous richness of practice, there's huge knowledge, we have people in cloud, we have people who've been working with this digitalization and the impact on organizations for many years. I heard that some of you are trying to create a consultancy that is focused on helping organizations transform in the wake of 4IR and building a kind of helping people build teal organizations, which for those that don't know about that, we'll be talking about that too. So all of this connects to what many of you are doing and thinking about. And the idea would be to try and kind of pool a bit of knowledge and practice and ideas around prototypes that we could be experimenting with organizations. So we will end with that. Okay? All right with you?
Yep. Sure.
And of course we're open to any suggestions. We would like to run this in the way we would like to see organizations running themselves, which is kind of open, inclusive, building on each other, using the collective intelligence in the room. So we're going to try and talk as little at you as possible and invite you in as much as possible and invite anything that you would like to do as well within the constraints of the time that we have. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick history of this project, which started with Oxford Leadership, but we're now trying to broaden to, as I said, a wider community of partners to create a kind of think tank or community of learning and practice. It started off as a kind of, it was envisaged more as a marketing thing. So how can we latch on to this, all these buzzwords that are flying around these days and present ourselves as the consultancy to be able to contribute to Leadership 4.0. Our will is to take that beyond that and actually build understanding. So see this as a kind of action research, or you can call it intervention research type project, where we would be building an understanding of emergent practices. So we're not just seeing ourselves as the all-knowing consultants coming in with stuff that clients should be doing. It's actually understanding what clients are doing currently and the different kind of emergent practices that they are grappling with, or clients or organizations of all kinds. And from that understanding of what people are grappling with and what is emerging, try and build a set of principles for what we call Leadership 4.0. We would also like to develop a kind of thought leadership so that we can accompany organizational transformation towards 21st century leadership practice. The other side of it is actually develop methodologies and practice for effective and sustainable inner, outer and organizational leadership, systemic leadership. So based on prototyping, developing prototypes, helping organizations prototype, and then helping particularly large, incumbent, asset-heavy organizations to pick up on some of this, because this is obviously, there are some very nice ideas out there, but do they actually apply to some of these huge incumbents? And many organizations are saying, you know, all that stuff about autonomous teams and democracy and all that, that wouldn't work here. So how can we actually find ways for these organizations to pick up on some of this and use it effectively and find ways to adapt it so that it works for them, kind of thing. A lot of people are working on this. There's a huge amount of stuff out there. So this is what we set out to do originally, was to do a so-called literature review or view of the thinking and just pick up on all of these different conversations. There are websites, there are all sorts of things. There's responsive.org, 21stcenturyleadership.org and all sorts of things going on. So we tried to gather this together and get a sense of what was out there. And then the other question that we have in mind is, so if there's supposed to be new leadership, what does that mean for the way we develop leaders? So there needs to be a new approach to leadership development as well. And this would be one of the things that we would be grappling with in this project. And then the other thing, which is part of the invitation to you today, is to build a learning community where we engage a range of thought leaders, clients, partners, in a kind of immersive learning experience. And we also model this way of working in the way in which we collaborate together. So the kinds of organisations that we're talking about, or ways of organising and ways of leading, we should be able to apply it to ourselves in building a collaborative network of partners. Yes?
I'm going to take you through a little bit the context of this world, and probably with my glasses on, but this is from Klaus Schwab saying, we're living in a time of extraordinary change. Every individual, business, industry, government is being impacted by breakthroughs, and multiple breakthroughs, not just one, but across a whole dimension. Computing power, connectivity, artificial intelligence, biotech, other innovative, and this is a revolution without boundaries spreading across the world with incredible velocity. And anybody who lives in the Netherlands possibly knows Professor Jan Roodmans, who does a lot of work in terms of transitions. We're not living in an era of disruptive change, but in a disruption of eras. And the question, going back to something, I can't say her name properly, Catherine, you quoted from Tolkien, who's also one of my absolute favourite authors, about becoming finding the way to be the creator. And I think in a lot of this, it is with all of this change that's out there, how can I be a creator? Where's my capacity to create, to act, to... and then I think... No, I'll do. Because that's what we know. Is the film. This is a film put together by the World Economic Forum, and it's a film that touches me. It's about 10 minutes, so hopefully